Now we're at the stage of entering our transactions. Remember, there's two ways you can enter your transactions. One is manual through EnterTrade. One is through the import process. The import process will be a separate discussion. Useful if you're probably doing more than maybe 25 or 50 trades a month kind of thing. Um, it's so quick to enter trades manually that you could probably enter 20 trades in 20 minutes a month, so it's not a lot of work. So let's go enter a trade. First thing is select the broker or the investor that whose account you want to work on, which investor. So, we'll pick this one and we go to click enter trade. And this screen is basically like a broker ticket kind of thing. For this investor, he's got these accounts. So let's pick an account that we're going to enter this trade for. It may be um, a specific brokerage account at one broker firm where you could have multiple accounts, but it's definitely one account. Trade date, of course, is the day of the actual execution of the trade, and you can just pick a date. Settlement date is useful for tax purposes. Um, Not really used, but let's say you are sensitive to that reporting need, and it usually matters around end of year reporting. So in December for individuals, or if you're a corporation, it could be, you know, mid year somewhere, whatever your corporate year end is. Then you want to select a security to attach the trade to. You can look it up by symbol, but you may also have the case where it'll populate where it's a new security and you don't have it set up in the system. So like we just did before, setting up a security, you could just do it in here. So let's say we wanted to set up a new security, and let's see if there's something here. No. I don't know any securities. Sorry about that. There we go. Again, just setting it up on the fly. So Altria Group, and because it's a foreign security, just like we did before, we know it's a specified foreign property for us, and it's in fact a share of a non-resident corporation. So it'll populate it with this name. Now, here's the real important part of the program. You have to assign what kind of transaction it is. Brokers usually will label buy and sell, call something a dividend, or just an account activity with some cryptic symbol, but you need to assign. We have about 30 different types of activity it could be, plus a couple special, and you have to pick it. So let's say it is you must get familiar with all these um, individual items. They're self-explanatory, but just on how to use them the right way. Like, for example, the ACB adjustment, cash versus non-cash. Understand what that means. And if you don't know what to do with something, call it unallocated. Give us an email. We'll tell you, sort of try to understand the transaction. We'll tell you what you could label it as. And so let's just say you want to buy something. Whatever the broker had, if you were importing, would show here. Otherwise, don't worry about it. Then you want to type in whatever you're buying, the price per share, and it'll populate with the amount. If you're buying a foreign security in a Canadian account, the broker usually gives you an exchange dollar value to get it into Canadian. And then you can write a note if you want to just keep track of what you're doing. And save. So once you get the hang of that, a minute, you're doing 20 trades a month. It's not a lot of work. Uh, if you're a small corporation or whatever, you have accounting staff, you're doing 100 trades a month, maybe it takes them 2-3 hours a month to balance everything. Not very onerous. If you want to go through the importer, which we'll do in a different video, as long as your broker uh, provides the export of your transactions to some kind of file, and we've mapped it for you, or you know how to use our, then you can bring it in. But really, 50 trades a month now, no reason not to just stay up to date with the activity. So this is the form that we rely upon the users to understand and use correctly. If you get your transactions incorrectly, the output will be correct. So this is the form you need to understand. And like always, I say there's a user guide in here. It's about 25 pages. It's not hard reading, but not only does it go over the whole program, it explains the screen thoroughly. Always recommend you to read this or print out a copy and have it ready as a resource to use the program.